Hi guys, this is Miles, the Productive Pisces. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below so then you can get updated whenever I post new videos. And on today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 7 things I wish I would have known before going to Colombia. Let's talk about Colombia real quick before I talk about the 7 things that I wish I would have known before going. So Colombia has such a negative reputation and I don't know why. Unless you watch Narcos or something along those lines, Colombia is a really awesome place. It is beautiful. The people are beautiful. Just the atmospheres from the beach to the mountains to the cities. Everything is just so cool in Colombia. And yeah, so I'm not sponsored by Colombia or anything, but I will say if you are thinking about taking a trip to South America, think about going to Colombia because that is such a cool place to go to. It's one of the coolest places I've ever been. So now that I talked about how much I love Colombia, now I want to tell you the 7 things I wish I would have known before going to Colombia. The first thing I wish I would have known before going to Colombia is to practice Spanish before you go down. So I took Spanish in college. I took, 3 courses worth, Spanish 1 through 3, and I thought, wow, I'm so prepared, yet I hadn't practiced it because I went to Colombia after graduating from Penn State and I took Spanish my sophomore year at Penn State, so it had been a while since I had honed my skills and actually worked on the tenses and so much. I thought that I was going to be able to go to Colombia, be like, hablas inglés, and someone would magically start speaking English to me. That was not the case at all. So many people speak Spanish, and it's a Spanish-speaking country, so naturally so. So the first thing I wish I would have known before going to Colombia was to practice my Spanish. You can practice your Spanish any way that you seem fit. You can get a Spanish tutor, you can use Duolingo, which is a free app. You can reach out to an old Spanish teacher, that's what I did, and have them send you some practice materials. That definitely helped me out when I got there, but I wish I would have done a little bit more prep before I left. The second thing I wish I would have known before going to Colombia was that time, the perception of time is a lot different than the perception of time here. So as an example, we went on a hike to this beautiful waterfall. I'll include a video of the waterfall because it was actually magical. And our tour guide said that our hike was supposed to be about 10 minutes to the waterfall. 2 hours later, and a sprained ankle for me, we finally got to and from the waterfall, but a 10-minute hike turned into a 2-hour excursion through rivers and mountainsides and dealing with a lot of wildlife that I was not adequately dressed for. Another example of this is that we befriended some students at a local university in Ibagué, and we invited them out, and we said, oh, let's do this at 9, and people didn't show up till 9:15, 9:30. The strictness of time in the US is time is of the essence, but in Colombia it's more so we'll get there when we get there. So it's super common for people to say, oh, this will start at 5, but not actually show up until 5:30, 6 o'clock. So that is good for you to know, so then you're not waiting around, and so that you don't have these expectations that people are actually gonna be there at a certain time, because they're not. So that is the second thing I wish I would have known before going to Colombia. The third thing I wish I would have known before going to Colombia, and this hits home a little bit because I was so mad whenever I found out this happened. So this is more specifically for if you're going to the beach. So I went to Cartagena for about 4 to 5 days, and I was always in the water. I'm a Pisces, hence the name Productive Pisces. I'm a water sign. I love the water. I always have loved the water. So, I'm basically a fish. And I went to the beach and I took my favorite pair of Adidas slides. And for those of you who don't have a pair of Adidas slides, they hurt so badly when you first buy them. But once you break those things in, they feel amazing. They are basically made for your foot and they are so comfortable. And I was with a group of friends and I had, hidden my stuff like under my shirt on my slides, but somehow they got visible and someone took it. So basically what I'm saying is beware of your stuff. It's not that people are inherently malicious, but also especially in Cartagena, there are a lot of people on the beach, a lot of tourists, but also a lot of locals who are going to try and sell you stuff, which is going to bring me to the fourth point of what I wish I would have known before going to Colombia, which is if you go to Cartagena, it is a very touristy economy. People will hassle you to death on the beach. You will be walking, minding your own business, and someone will come up behind you or up to you from the side and they'll be like, gratis, cabana. It's never free. Let me tell you that. It is not free. If someone starts rubbing massage oil on you, say, no quiero mensaje. No gracias. That will be your favorite words. No gracias. Quiero caminar. Those will be your favorite phrases because people will literally try and sell you cabanas, sell you drinks, sell you massages, sell you launchers, sell you umbrellas. They'll try and sell you the ocean basically. Basically, just if you don't want to get ripped off and if they say something's free, it's never actually free. They'll try and charge you at the end. Just beware. It's a very touristy economy and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's something I wish I would have known before stepping onto the beach and looking just like a tourist. And yeah, so that's the fourth thing that I wish I would have known before I went to Colombia. Fifth thing that I wish I would have known before going to Colombia was know the worth and the price of things. And what I mean is know your conversions. When I went to Colombia, $1 was equivalent to 3,000 Colombian pesos, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. I mean, things are adjusted for the cost of living, but I was very naive during my time in Bogota, and I took a cab with a friend. We were going to a bookstore library, and I offered to pay. And whenever we arrived at the bookstore library, he charged me 50,000 pesos, which in Bogota, you are never really supposed to pay any more than 20,000 pesos for a long ride. And it wasn't even that long of a ride, but I didn't know. He tried stealing my cell phone. It was a mess. But basically, know how much things are worth. And then another example of why you should know what things are worth is because I had a friend who was in a cab as well in Cartagena, and she was on her way to meet us at the hotel, and the cab driver said, oh, it'll be 15,000 pesos or 10 US dollars. But if we go back to the conversion I told you earlier about 1 USD to 3,000 Colombian pesos, 15,000 Colombian pesos is 5 US dollars and 10 US dollars is 30,000 Colombian pesos. So just be careful. We wouldn't want you to get ripped off. And thankfully, I ended up recouping my money, but still, it was just a very weird thing to go through. I wish I would have known just a little bit more. Just the fact that I should know what things are worth. I should know the conversion so then I don't get ripped off. So that is the fifth thing that I wish I would have known. The sixth thing I wish I would have known before going to Colombia was just how rich and filled it is with culture and history. Once I got there, I went to so many museums and so many conservatories and just etc. I was there for 28 days. So thankfully I was able to do that because I was with someone who knew things about Colombia, who had lived in Colombia, and we linked up with people who were from Colombia and they were able to show us some awesome things. But one thing I really wish I would have done was research a little bit more ahead of time and just see all the things that would have interested me. For example, we were in a city called Villa de Leyva, which was about 3 hours outside of Bogota, and they had a paleontology museum because they found dinosaur remnants over there. I think that is just so cool, the fact that they offer such a diverse, rich history. And if you're going to Colombia, do your research, make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. And that is the 6th thing I wish I would have known before going to Colombia. The 7th thing I wish I would have known before getting to Colombia is just how safe it is. And we're always told, oh wow, Colombia is such a dangerous place. We're told about narcos, we're told about Pablo Escobar, we're told about, you know, just all of like the downsides. But honestly, when I was in Colombia, I always felt like I was safe. I was with a group of students my age, so we felt safe to go out at night, to, you know, pair off and go off in pairs. Even in Bogota, Cartagena, we always felt safe. And it's one of those things that Colombia has such a stigma of, like, it has a history of violence, yes, but currently it is just such a safe place, and the people there, they really just want people to see what Colombia has to offer, from its diverse crops and, you know, the coffee growing country and its beaches. And I mean, Colombia has so much to offer. And if safety is a huge concern for you, Colombia is not that dangerous. I mean, everywhere is dangerous nowadays. So it's just that you pick your battles. You don't put yourself immediately in the line of danger, but inherently, Colombia is a pretty safe place. I felt safe the entire time I was there, and I was a foreigner. I mean, I had some Spanish knowledge, but I wasn't fluent. I never knew exactly every single thing that was going on around me, but I never felt unsafe. And Colombia is just such an awesome place to go visit. And if you were thinking about going and safety is a concern, it shouldn't be, because I can guarantee if you give Colombia a chance, you'll see how much it has to offer. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the 7 things I wish I would have known before getting to Colombia. If there's anything that you want to know that I didn't mention in this video and I might be able to answer it, comment that down below, or comment a place in Colombia that you might want to go visit. So tune in for the next video. Don't forget to give this video a nice thumbs up and subscribe right down below and turn on post notifications so you never miss a post. Thanks, bye.